And especially with no timing, like I tell you, when you just wait for that one setup, that's all you need. Like you don't have to be out here Monday through Friday trying to trade your brains out, giving
That's
you that
true.
stress.
That's true.
Because a lot of people think their favorite mentors are making all their millions. Like, yeah, they make a good amount of money from trading, but most of the time they get that money and they're investing into their other business to make more money. Where they're
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Fortune's Funding Payout. I don't even have to say who I am. It doesn't even matter at this point, but you know the name is Sir Hans Felix in the flesh, baby. And we are live in effect with another one of our traders. And we can't wait to hear his story today. My brother, introduce yourself, man. You looking fly over there, huh?
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Well, for y'all that, well, obviously y'all don't know me, but my name is Roger Elorreaga. I've been with
Hey,
Fortune
say that one
Funded.
more time, man. Say that one more time. Let him feel that last name, man. It ain't no game on
Elorreaga.
me.
It's Italian for y'all, by the way.
Woo! Yes,
Sir, I
sir.
got some
Yes,
Italian in my
sir.
blood.
Right there, and then we can already tell like this man knows himself. He knows his family, his ancestry. He knows the bloodline. So it's about to get interesting. It's about to get hot in this thing, you know?
There we
So
go.
let me tell you real quick, man. Do you know the meaning of your name and how much do you abide by your culture?
I would say I abide by it a lot, man, because especially coming up from, well, all my family's Mexicans. Obviously, we're from El Paso, from most of my
Mm,
family. So they're really like old school and they keep with that culture, man. So I've always been raised like by like that. So I try to stick with it still to this day, especially because now times they've really changed from like back in the day, from like the 90s. Times have really changed crazy.
La raza.
That's always someone always you'll go with.
Of course, man. When the drunk uncle gets at the party, he's like, "Oh, familia. Hey, no te olvides. Hey,
What
Pancho,
other
Pancho,
families do you
Pancho."
know that are having 100 beers for a 1 2 year old birthday party, man?
And
It's
bro, and
crazy.
tomorrow, bright and early, they're gonna make it to work on time.
Yeah. Yes. Staying up all nighters, man. It's crazy, bro.
Oh man, yo, shout out to the Mexican kinfolk, shout out to all the Hispanic community watching this right now, some of the uncles. You want to shout out your tío, your tías real quick, man?
I want to shout out my whole family. I appreciate y'all for being there for me through the tough times and everything, and believing in me and never giving up on me. Because there's always that one person who finally breaks the family chain and goes up to the next. And I'm trying to be that one, and I'm pushing for it, and I'm pretty much there. So I appreciate all
Verdad,
my family for always being
verdad.
there.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Show him the tat one more time. Don't think I ain't see that. Yeah.
It's a whole sleeve, brother. Got the
Ooh,
same Mike
hey.
Angelo tattoo. That one because I always put that protector in my family,
Mm.
and then post the stairway to heaven because I hope all these steps I do in my life one day I get to go up there to heaven.
Wow. Hey man. So that's very noble of you. Right off the bat, I already knew like we were gonna have one hell of a interview because I can feel you are a man of family. So is
Yes,
this how
sir.
the journey started for you? Like that was that your why?
What do you mean with my wife, like my family?
Yeah, like why did you start trading?
So, well, backstory, I guess, for quick, see how I came from. My first off, I went to go to college because my parents were very like they're very old school that they wanted me to be that first one because I'm a first gen. None of my family has ever gone to college, graduated. All of them have been high school dropouts. So my dad was actually, I guess, the first one you'd say to really break it because he went to the old foot and busted his ass off. It wasn't the easy way, but he ass off, made money, and was able to push us. And he wanted me to go to school, right? So I did that. I knew it wasn't something entirely I wanted, but he always told me it's a good backup plan to have. You want to go try other business and everything? Cool, but at least you have that as a backup plan. Like, why not? And you can be the first one. Like, you'll make your abuela and everyone proud. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I did that. Got my degree in engineering. Went to go work at the old food for about 3 years. Met my fiance at the time. Towards the end of that, right when COVID was about to hit, and we ended up having our first baby girl. And right at that point, when we had our baby, she barely was 3 months old. And our company, I'm pretty sure you maybe heard about, about Oldfield Halliburton. They're a pretty big company, and they actually ended up shutting down over here when COVID happened. So I ended up
Wow,
having to
wow.
get let go. And that's when it came. Yeah, so yeah, just it sucked because my girl, I wasn't even working at the time either. So I was like, I got a good severance pack, and I saved a lot of money and made some smart investment when I was younger, but nothing like too forks in that. And I was kind of like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I just have a 3-month-old baby. My girl's not working. Like, it hit me. Shit hit the fan. And one of my buddies had told me about it. He's like, hey man, like, have you ever heard of trading? Like, I know you have some money to invest. And I was like, no, but like, I know about stocks. Like, obviously you're in crypto. Like, I know about it, the basics. And he told me you should try looking into forex. Like, a lot of people are it's like a new thing where people make money. And I was like, really? Like, let me look into it. I looked into it, and it looked pretty good. Interesting me because I've always liked stocks. But when he introduced it to me, I didn't know really what it was. So when he first got me in, you could probably guess what I got into. IML. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The fact that you're allowed, you
Oh
already know about it,
man.
man. Yep. I can't bash it too. I can't won't bash it too hard because at least it got me into the space. But it wasn't what I was aiming for because it's like a pyramid scheme, honestly, man. You're just trying to get people on network. That's all you're doing, trying to get people under you. And I was like, I see the point of it, but I'm trying to learn and have my own skill set, and I'm not trying to depend on these people all the time.
Right.
So eventually,
like, hey,
I was
bro,
in
what
it.
are you doing? What are you doing at 7
Yeah,
p.m.?
like yes, and then I'm getting messages like, "Who have you guys texted to recruit?" Like, I'm like, I figured y'all be telling me we're gonna have like Zoom meetings to learn trading and stuff. Like, why am I doing a meeting here? How to
Nah,
just
bro.
recruit people? Like, it's not what I signed up for. So I ended up meeting one of my someone else. He's actually an algo trader. His name's Dalian King, and I still talk to him this day. He's still my mentor to this day, and he's the one who finally put me on to trading, like how to actually trade, like price action, understand the charts and everything. Because before, when they would have those Zoom meetings, you're just going in and they tell you, all right, click buy here, click sell here. Without
Right.
explaining something, they're like, okay, I'm making money, but like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, that's my language, but like, I'm having this trust this person with my money. Like, I want to at least know what's going on. I want to be confident with my money if I'm spending it, using it.
True that.
And and that's where it kind of started from there. Thankfully, I had money from the open and saved up where I was able to get into investments and actually start getting into the trading space. And that's pretty much where it happened when COVID happened. It pretty much pushed me to take that step out to it. And ever since then, man, I've been stuck with trading, man, because I actually really fell in love with it. I really took it in like if it was school. Like, I took it in like it was school because I've heard James and I've heard many people talk about it. Like, you can't just train like get rich quick. So people do it because they might understand it quickly. But if you're going to school for 4 years, pay like 20, 30, 50 grand, like, why don't you spend a couple $100 or $1,000 for a course and actually learn and put your own homework in at home? Like, this skill has, I'm pretty sure you've seen a bunch of people who post like all the potential this has. Like, it's just a matter of your own time. And then that's pretty much from there. It took me about a year and a half to really get profitable because I was probably like every other trader that wants to scalp and throw like 10 entries before it's even 10 o'clock, like, oh, 10 is negative, close, try again, like, with this going for the same position. It just took a lot of knowing who I was as a person, understanding it.
Wow. So, man, you can't get a good story without mentioning that company. It's like they expose you, and you can't really hate that side of the journey because that's what introduced most of us to the concept of trading. And they revolutionized it. It significantly attracted a younger generation and crowd. And that honestly helped a lot
Yes.
of companies, from brokers to emerging hedge funds. And till this day, man, this has shifted our culture, to be honest. Like, I don't think there's ever been a generation where young traders and entrepreneurs have emerged from companies like this. So I can never really
Yeah.
talk too bad about them. But I will say, like, it was very funny that we felt more of the marketing and how many people did you recruit over anything. But at the same time, the way we were structured to actually recruit helped ignite something in us too. Like, for the most part, a lot of people they felt purpose, especially around the pandemic. Like, that's something that kept a lot of people going. Like, they would fearlessly
Yes.
go to these tours, you know, COVID or no COVID, like, they was out there, like, hitting
Oh, yeah.
everybody up, trying to say, hey man, look, man, you ain't no 9 to 5, what you doing with this stimulus check? Like, let's trade it. Da, da, da. I mean, there's a lot that went down, but what a time to be alive in 2020. at the peak
Yeah,
of
man, it
COVID,
definitely
man.
was.
If COVID wasn't killing you, these charts and the stop losses definitely was trying to, because a lot of people lacked the knowledge, but here you are now, man. So let's talk about some of your favorite pairs. Let's talk about some of your trials. Being first exposed to the evaluation firm space, like how did you get into that?
So, at first, I didn't really know about prop firms when I first got into it. I always had my own personal funds, and I did pretty good, making a couple $100 here and there. Nothing ever too crazy. Um, and then how would I say? Well, but for sure, I know my favorite pair right now that I trade is the Nasdaq and US 30. That's strictly what I deal with. Because that one, if I could catch a good move whenever the time of the day is for that, I could set it and forget that one.
You say
Because
US
usually
30 or Nasdaq? Say that one more time.
both US 30 and Nasdaq, those are my two pairs.
So you like both sisters?
Oh
Wow.
yeah, oh yeah. I like them both, man. Because once it's just you. I mean, pretty sure you've seen it where you see Nasdaq one day, one week, it'll have like beautiful setups that is like so clean, and then vice
Right.
versa. So 30s, it's like going whack, and you're looking at Nasdaq go up 100 pips. You're like, what?
Right. Just throwing gang signs and Naruto, like old
There you
types.
go, exactly.
Yeah, and you're like, yo, what are you doing, US 30? Like, what's up with you? Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
because I like how they, I guess how the patterns they formed, and they actually do really good stuff on lower highs. They do really well compared to when I tried messing with gold and GJ being that wiki. Like it was just not for my mind. Like it did not sit well with me. And you're starting them. Yeah, they do have big sporadic moves, but as long as you uh have your right wrist to it, and just let the move go, you're pretty much gonna get a big move because most of the time that it moves like about 200 pips a day. So like you're saying, you just need to find that right time where it finally moves, and you can just set it and let it go.
I would agree. Not today though. Today was
No,
some shit.
yeah, especially towards the last quarter. The last quarter, this is when I really don't trade because since I've been doing this for about almost 4 years now. I've learned that the last quarter is not my style because
Mm,
I like to do it like because I used to be a big scalper. Now I'm very on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. So
right.
I like to see on those. That way I could just hold the trade longer. But
Absolutely.
during these
Understood.
times, you can't do that. So this is a time where I stay away. I get more time with family. I work on my other businesses because finally, when I started getting really profitable, and then when I first got into my first prop firm, it was with FTMO. That was when I first started. And it was like really my second year when I was very starting to become a little profitable. I was like, let me try it out. And I had that
Right.
account for like a good year. I got a good amount of money. I'd say I probably made about like throughout the year, like 40 to 50K with them. To me, that was pretty good, especially for someone who'd never done that before. I was used to working in the oil field. I was working 150 hours a week. Like I was working 15-hour days. My schedule was a 14 days on, 6 days off. And I was working 15-hour days. So going from that, busting my ass off to make 100 grand to going somewhere, I sit on the chart for an hour and just walk away, only trade 2, 3 times a week. And I was like, man, I made half of what I made, like with way less effort. Like that's crazy.
That is crazy. And by the way, how much was your payout
With you
with
with that team when
Fortune's
I first
funding?
started.
With Fortune's funding.
With Fortune's fundings, I've made about 15 to 16,000
That's
with y'all.
solid. Solid gains. Solid gains, man.
Yeah, and that's because, like I say, man, like now, if you look at my charts, I only trade maybe twice a week, if that. Because I'm very like, if I'm in the morning, the first 30 minutes, if I don't see how I want to, I'm done. Like, I've got route to the point where, like, if I don't see the good setup, I'll wait for it. Because all it takes is that one good setup for these trades to really pop off for you. Because a lot of people that trade Forex pairs, they go for their 1 to 2, 1 to 3s, which usually like 20, 40, 60 pips, right? US 30 on one day, you can get that in a matter of a couple minutes. So as long as you're patient and wait for that setup that you know you're going to come to, you're good. And that was my problem. Always thinking like I had to be trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in charts every day. If I'm not trading every day, like it's a loss for me. Like I missed money out today. When reality, that's not it.
Right. And they say sometimes no trading day is a profitable day, you know? That's very interesting that you said that.
Yep.
Now,
Because
um, what are your
there's so many
usual
days, man, where I force those trades.
right?
Well,
Sometimes it's hard to be able to tell like which day you should skip, but typically it's when you don't see a setup. Like for instance, today I thought core PPI was going to bring a continuation, but instead what they did was they whipsawed everybody, including myself. And bro, it was until it happened, we're like, man, damn, maybe today wasn't supposed to be a day to trade. But you got to fuck around and find out sometimes, you know?
Yeah, that's how it comes, man. It just comes with the experience, and throughout time, you eventually know. Like I mean, shit,
Absolutely.
you would know better than me, my man.
Hey, man, 8 years in the game, I can't complain, you know? Um, I will
I'm
say
halfway
though,
there.
what are some of your favorite account sizes to deal with the evaluation firms and why?
I would say at least for sure, at least 100K, because in reality, everyone knows that you only have a 10K limit with that.
Right.
And for most people like to trade GJ, gold, stuff that are pretty volatile and that can make good amount of money with small moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that was my pretty much my comfort because, like I say, most for US 30 and as if you're gonna hit a stop loss, a 50, 60 pip stop loss is usually pretty good range to tell if you're on the right move or not.
Right.
So that's where I would do it, and I'd only risk like maybe what the 2,000 for the day because I knew my setups were always gonna be the 1 and 2 at the minimum or 3. So at least if I lose 2 in a row, it's gonna be because the next day I can go and make that back and I'm break even for that one day, like easy. So I always liked a little bigger account because you don't have to. When a lot of people have a smaller account, they're trying to win big in that one trade, so they're going max margin on that account, and then 2 trades in, it's blown.
Yeah, that's a
And I was one
fact.
of those guys. So that's why I learned, like, you know what? Let me get a bigger account and stick with that same risk that I was trying to do on this 25K. Let me do it on the 100K in a matter of what? If I get 3 1 and 3s, that's already phase one done. Like, and especially with no timing, like I tell you, when you just wait for that one setup, that's all you need. Like, you don't have to be out here Monday through Friday trying to trade your brains out, giving you
That's
that
true.
stress.
That's true. So let's go ahead and recap. You said your favorite trading style, your favorite risk style is a 2%, or did you say a 0.5%?
2%.
Okay, so 2% per trade. You're
Yes.
literally trying once or twice out of your attempts.
Yep, that's it. 1 or 2 a day. If I lose both those, I'm out. I ain't gonna try to revenge trade that because I've been there, done that, and I've learned that it's never the way to go. Because at that point, you're already not even thinking in the right space. Because now you're like, I need to make that extra percent up now,
Right. That is true.
and that totally messes with you. Because if you don't get a good sleep, if you're stressed, you got to fight with your girl, man, anything like that stuff will weigh on you when it comes to trading. You'll think it
Yeah,
will, but it definitely will.
that's a fact. I've been there too. I've been there too. Now, so let's say you win your trade, right? Okay, boom, $2,000. Are you getting in at market open? Are you waiting an hour? And yeah, let's go ahead and start with that.
So for my time, over here, the market opens at 8:30. I
Right.
always give it the first 30 minutes to see what it's gonna do. If it takes off with me at that, because sometimes 30 will do that. It was 8:30,
Right.
150 pips. Damn, I missed the move. Like, and those are the days where I'm like, you know what? It could continue. I could probably crash retrace on that to get uh
That pullback.
to get that back. But I'm like, is that worth the risk? Because this keeps on going. Like, I'm gonna be really big down. Like, you know what? Like that was the setup I wanted, but it happened not when I wanted it to. So I've always been.
Mm,
I won't get my first trade until 9 o'clock. I always give it the first 30 minutes to do what it needs to do, because that's
awesome.
usually when a lot of people try to. Because I know because I was there and I'm like I know a lot of these people, the newer beginners too, are right at that first candle. They see it move 40 pips up, buy, and then what does it do? The next 2 minutes, wick,
Retrace.
wicks 80 pips, and you're just like, wow, 30 seconds. I just lost 80 pips. Like, what just happened?
Right, right, right. Very true, guys. Very true. And so let's say you just won your first trade. You
Yeah,
pull up the next day, you risking the same equity, or what are you doing?
I'm going to drop that to half. If I won one, if I had a good day and I won both trades and I'm up 2 to 4%, then I'm going to risk half of that for sure. And if I win the next one if I could see it has a really good setup and the one that I've been waiting for, then I might risk it a little bit higher. But 90% of the time, I'm pretty safe, and I usually only start going 1% from there. I'm like, I'm already at 2%. I could lose 2 days in a row and still be back to break even. Compared if I try to go and double or do the same thing again, like that whole day I decided yesterday, gone out the window.
Mm,
That's how I
yeah,
personally see it to myself, and that's worked for me personally. Cause I know some people are like, no, let me go heavy because I already won. Like if I lose, at least I'm back at break even. I'm like, I see that, but to me, I'm like, man, I just had a winning day yesterday. Why am I gonna? kick that out in less than 30 minutes on my trading day. Like I'd rather take that 1%. Did it win? Cool. Now I'm up 3-4%. You know.
That's interesting that you say that because a lot of people suffer from this ailment of over trading. And one time I told somebody, I'm like, well, you must not see yourself past your small accounts because you must be seeing your favorite setups at every second and hour of the session because like you're clearly not selective. If you're over trading, then that means you are just whatever the market throws at you, you in there. You know, like you're a whole slut. You know, it's just I don't get it, but I get it. You know, it's like you had to go through certain phases to figure out how to be satisfied. You know,
Yes.
and some people just haven't hit that yet. And unfortunately, too, the problem becomes that you're not seeing past the levels that you are going to. You know, you're just only settling for the situations that you're in. Because if you're trading institutionally, you lose a certain amount of money. That's it. You're done for the day. Like, got to pull up next time because of the selective mindset. You know, there are no setups here for you. There's no opportunity. You're gonna pull up when the opportunity and the selective setup is there. The A plus, the B, you know, the C
Exactly.
sometimes, and that's what it's all about. But you know, people learn that the hard way. Man, I lost 20 AGs today. I'm not tripping. I already know. I already know how I'm coming tomorrow, or I might even stay up for London because you know we're literally looking at this full imbalance candle, and
Yeah.
price
Yeah.
failed to break structure higher. So like, there's only
Like,
one
and for
thing to
instance,
do.
like that, 90% of that people, when that candle closed, they were like, look at that big gap. I'm going to sell that. And what did it do? Pushed way more up.
Exactly. So you got to know your setups and the behavior because, like, on a setup like this, I thought tomorrow was going to be a continuation trade because core CPI came out yesterday. They took
Mhm.
off. I'm like, okay, they're consolidating. It seems like if core CPI, obviously, when you see the same numbers from Tuesday, they're going to be similar on Wednesday, which is today. And price fails to actually go higher. So because we're failing to go higher, what goes up must come down.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
so like it's the behavior at the end of the day. So from somebody like you, what has been some of the craziest stories that happened to you on a live funded account? Let me hear what US 30 has done for you on a
He's
bet.
done me dirty a couple times, man. Uh, what I the hardest lesson that I ever had to learn was to stay away from news.
Mm,
News is just a bad idea. If you're on a funded account, yeah, sometimes you may win and win big, but that one time you lose, you're gonna be really pissed off that because that's gonna throw your whole account in less than like 10 seconds. And then next thing you know, you see it finally come back down. 20 seconds later, you'll be like, I knew it. I knew it.
yeah, that's
So
another
I've had
fact right there.
yeah, it was back actually when Trump was still in office. I remember I got in a trade and I was so confident. Like it was a group of us in that Zoom and IML, man, when I first started too. And everyone's like, the guy already started saying, yeah, we're going to hold a buy right here at this buy stop. And once it gets there, we're going to close out of here. What did that thing do? Right past my buy stop, it was like, we had set the buy stop like 70 pips up. So it was pretty high. So you're thinking, okay, which I don't know. I don't know why I did that, right? When I think about it now, that's a crazy to put buy stop 70 pips up later because obviously it's going to go back down. Went up. Next thing you know, as soon as it hit that area, he's like, oh, it's going to break past his resistance. Boom, dropped on me.
Ooh,
Hella quick, like another
man.
150 pips. That was my first time on my own like personal account. I had like 10 G's, and instantly that I saw that thing go from 10 to like $1,500 in like a minute or 2 minutes.
Bro, how did
Yep.
you live with that? Yo,
I definitely didn't tell my girl about that because I knew she would
mhm.
whoop my
Hey, if you're
butt.
watching now, hey, you know now.
She know
You
now,
know now.
but she know we got through the rough of it. She know we're good now. We've made the money. I've learned my mistakes. But that
Wow.
was definitely one of them where I learned. And that's when I learned right away. Like, okay, yeah, I made some good money and I was able to grow my accounts big. But that whole 2 weeks, 1 minute, like, me right, people management, and I was all like, as long as you're smart, and you know your trades. Like, why does that matter? And I got humbled quickly with the market. They humbled me. Like you might have 2 good weeks, and all it takes is that 1, 2 bad days to throw it all away.
Yep. That's the craziest thing about trading. Like, there's so many layers of discipline that you have to keep. And what? It's the simplest. way to make money and the hardest at the same time. Not
I've heard that
because,
before, and that is 100% correct.
yeah, like people don't understand it until you part of the arena where you see why that statement is so true. Because it's like, wow, I get up, have a great mindset, I'm preparing to take the trade. Market starts to be like doing a whole bunch of weird stuff, and you're sitting here like, bro, I don't have
Starts
time.
dancing on you.
Yeah, I call it the jerky jerk. The jerky jerk motion.
I like that.
It's like should I? It's like, bro, can
Season.
you? Yeah, like please move. Like I'm not in the mood to play games. And of course, if you don't pay attention to your emotions, then it grits. At the end of the day, though, I think it's something we all have to learn to embrace, to be subscribed to, but at the same time, not be subscribed 100% emotionally. Um,
Yes.
yeah, but I will ask you though, when that first payout hit with Fortune's funding, how did you feel?
Man, when I finally got that first payout, man, I felt on top of the world. Like I wish I could show you right now if I was at my house, but I even have my certificate where I'm framed. I have it over my computer set up right there too. It was a
That's
it was a
awesome.
big it was a big accomplishment to me, man, because like I really never messed around with prop firms too much. And also, I going back real quick, when I finally got that first payouts, I ended up buying a truck so I could start making some extra money too while I was trading. So I also
Wow.
started a trucking company now also. So I with the payouts, I actually put it to work so I can make more money for myself.
Wow. All thanks to trading, huh?
Yes, sir. All thanks to trading. Because I thank God for like when I had the old foot, I saved up, went into trading, made some money, saved up, put into more investment to do trucking. And that's why I say like nowadays, like I only trade about three times a week because I'm already having trucking going on, and I don't have to work because I know I still have this for me. So, and that's usually how a lot of people, because a lot of people think their favorite mentors are making all their millions. Like, yeah, they make a good amount of money from trading, but most of the time they get that money and they're investing into their other business to make more money, where they're allowed to risk this money and trade and not have to worry about that. While like
Bingo.
people who are new are coming with their only $1,000 in their savings, thinking like, damn, look at this guy made $15,000 this morning. Like, I want to make that. Like, and that's when the over risking the high trade comes in. And people don't understand. Like, these guys have been at it for years. They're already investing in other businesses. Like, don't
Yes,
you can't forget
sir.
their journey where they came from.
Oh man, you just touched a subject matter as the expert, and I have to co-sign with you, bro, because this is a topic that has been honestly on my mind for like 2 days, ever since
No one
I,
talks about it. No one
yeah,
talks about
bro,
it.
like, first, okay, bro, I hate it with a passion when I'm just minding my own business and I just so happen to be in the comment section on Instagram. Next thing I know, somebody is talking smack about traders or mentors. Oh, you know, yeah, he bought this course, or he bought this Lamborghini, or blah 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 blah, because of the signals that they charge. Well, if the signals are helping to bring value, then what's the problem? And then
Mm-hmm.
there's a group of people who are like, oh, well, they're not making this money off of trading alone. They have businesses. What did you expect? Like, trading is about leveraging the time that it takes to
Yes.
make an amount of money in a shorter span just so you can reinvest it elsewhere. In fact, businessmen and people who had actual capital were the ones who used to be and within this industry. It is not up until like as of late, let's say 10 to 12 years ago, that a younger generation started emerging into the space. And because of the broker low entry fees and things of that nature, things have been a lot more malleable towards a crowd who does not have too much. But man, the entry fee used to be like 10 racks, 20 racks into certain brokers. And so,
Really?
yeah, bro, like, bro, I
Damn.
might even let you know right now. Like, did you know there was such a thing as MT3?
No, I did not. You see, I did not know that. I mean, but it makes sense, right? Because like, why would it go 4 and 5? Like, so that makes sense. But I did not know that.
Exactly, bro. So, like, it needs to be stopped. Okay. Yes, there are a lot of misleading marketing schemes out there. Don't get me wrong. But what I will say is this, though, like, how do you anticipate people to make money in a market where there are losses, constant losses, and wins What do you think people are doing with this money? You think they just keeping it here on their accounts just to show what? It's not.
Exactly. Like,
It's not to just flex, it's actually to make more bread and be sustainable and to leverage and increase and compound this time that we are actually exchanging for our money. Like 40 hours elsewhere is 2 hours on a US 30 trade. But what do you think people are
exactly.
going to do with that? That profit is going to get withdrawn. We're going to invest it elsewhere. We're going to invest in real estate. We're going to make the money from real estate. We're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to put it back in the account. We're going to leverage it. We're
The
going to,
cycle.
yeah, we're literally going to invest in another property, invest in trucking, invest in whatever it is that's going to make us a return. And we just keep maximizing the skill set
It's a business
and the
plan.
time. That's what it is. So, like, why are people so mad that there are businesses within the trading or outside of trading that helps for people to make money? They glamorize this idea that like you're only allowed to make profits from the markets and the markets alone. You're only allowed to flip and grow accounts from the markets alone. You're not supposed to pull it out from like how do we how would that even work logically? You see what I'm
I don't know
saying?
where that even came into, like where people got that concept in their head. That's all I'm like, why do people bash on that so hard? Like, if you had extra money, why wouldn't you want to make more money for you so you don't have to work in the future? Like, what is your count? What is your money gonna do just sitting in your savings?
Bro, I don't get it. Now, we do encourage financial literacy. We do encourage that people should, at least have an emergency savings fund and then also like have different types of funds for play and investments and whatnot. But let's
I have
just,
four bank accounts.
right,
I have one for my bills, one for my regular saving, one for my investments, and then the one that me and my lady have together.
exactly. And that sounds responsible. So you're not just doing this for yourself, you're doing it for the legacy of your family. And we respect that. That's what makes you a fortunate and bold trader, bro. So let me ask you, man, what are your goals for 2024 going forward with your trading and overall as a family goal?
For trading, I hope for my goal, if I can stay on pace with everything, I hope to hopefully have $1 million in funded with y'all, and then one of my own personal account within time, and to hopefully just keep growing my trucking business. Because right now I still drive out of town where I'm gone for like 2 3 days at a time, and I do that because my girl, I told her she doesn't have to, but she wants to go to school because she wants to have her own accomplishment, like she did something. She doesn't like that I make the money and she just goes and spend it, which I love and I respect. I told her you don't have to. Like, we're good. Like, you could be at home with our daughter and stuff, but she wants to have her own goals and accomplishments. And I respect it 100%.
Mm,
So right now she's going to school, so I'm investing in all that. That way, eventually, when I get to be home every day while she's going to school, if she wants to go maybe home teach our daughter, if she wants to, then you can do that. You're still a teacher. Like, different option for us. Because I've been a big thing of where I want to travel the world. I want to see different cultures. Like, I'm a very people's person. Like, to God's heart, like I am very a people's person. I want to understand people. I'm just very interested in the world. Like, we're not meant to just be stuck in this cycle of work, like to your 60 and then only have like a couple hundred like saved up and you can't even go and see life. Like, I want to see what life has to offer out there. And
wow.
that's my goal, to hopefully eventually have that done where my girl could be done with school and she wants to continue teaching. She can do it, but she wants to be home and then we can do that.
Very inspiring. And shout out to Wifey if you're watching this. Appreciate you folding this man down and being conscious about the lot sizes and the take profits that happen and get withdrawn. Okay.
I had to give my respects to my girl 100%, man, because she's the one that holds it down when I'm gone. She pretty much, since I'm gone trucking, she's a single parent. Like, God honest truth, she's a single mom pretty much when I'm gone. She handles it. She's going to school, taking care of our daughter, cleaning the house. I mean, what more can I ask for from her? She's being a mother and a wife and a student. Like, I can't ask more for her.
Hey,
So
I'm
it's
not
like
gonna
what
lie, bro.
pushes me.
You're gonna get some liquidity sweep for that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But that's what pushes me, man. Because I'm like, look what she's doing. Like, she's holding me down doing all this while I'm trying to grow my trucking company and trading. Like, I'm gonna hold her down once I get all this too. Like, she deserves it.
Well said, brother. Well said. I knew we had a good one when I hit record it. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a one for the books. So
There you go, sir. I tried it.
Absolutely. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. And so, as we are bringing this interview to a close, what would you tell somebody out there from your culture, from your background, your neighborhood, um, the older version of you, maybe the future version of you watching this from a present time? Like, what message would you leave here as a closing statement?
To everyone else who's has goals and aspirations, because a lot of people look at these mentors and this space like they want to live that life, they want the nice cars, be able to stay with their family and all that. Don't quit. Don't
Mm.
give up on yourself. Everyone else might try to fold you and say, no, it's not working. Look at this money that you lost. But as long as you know what you want in life, stick to it, keep pushing. That's all you can do in this life. Because if you take a step back, like you're not going forward, you're just going backwards. You don't want to look back. You want to look back to the tough times, but you want to keep pushing forward. Because in this life, it's all about getting knocked down and getting back up. That's what it's all about. And in
Wow.
my future self, I would just see the same thing, man. Just keep pushing no matter what happens in the future. Just know God's got you. You know what you want to do in life and just keep sticking to it and don't give up. Because no one has your back.
Well said, bro. I almost shed a tear behind these shades, man. But once again, man, let the people know who you are and what you stand by as we close this interview.
Once again, guys, Fortune's Funder Trader. Name is Roger Elorreaga. And I stand here for family, man. I'm doing this all for my family. And I
Well
hope
said.
all of y'all can one day get here or on your journey and don't give up. Because everyone can do this. There's nothing special or different between you, me, and the next person. We just put the time into the work and never give up. Everyone could do that.
I felt that, bro. I felt that. And with that, guys, we want to thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you are interested in being a part of the Fortunes Funding family, the link is below. Sir Hans Felix signing out. Man, thank you so much for taking the time out, and congratulations to all your successes and your future successes as well. And along with your endeavors, businesses, and all that, you know how we coming, baby. And before we finish, bro, I just want to let you know that we are gifting you a $25,000 Fortunes Funding Evaluation Account giveaway. All you got to do is pass. But we doing our part over here, you know what I'm saying? Like,
There you go. I
love to
appreciate you,
give
my
back,
man.
bro. For sure, for sure, for
What
sure.
what other company do you see doing all these giveaways and giving back to the people?
I don't know about them, but with us, it's family, baby. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, and blessings. Sir Hans Felix signing out.